No, that's a ridiculous statement. Is a top 10 superhero movie of all
First
time.
of all, this is welcome back to the One Shot Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Vincent.
And I'm Johnny, and this is a special episode. On this episode, we are breaking down DC's best movie. And with us, we have a very special guest. Alex, introduce yourself to people who do not know you.
I have no interest in getting an intro right after you saying that Blue Beetle is DC's best movie. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. You make me want to hop off this show. I'm Alex. A lot of people know me as Hat Guy, and I'm the co-host of the Escape Pod podcast. So if you haven't heard of it or whatever, make sure to check it out. We are a movie debate show, and just for nerds.
Yeah,
Well,
I love it.
Speaking of that, let's since you're already on the topic of, this isn't the best DC project to come out. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is better than this?
I mean, off the top of my head, Dark Knight is easily better. Batman Begins is easily better. The Snyder Cut is easily better.
Okay, wait, hold on. The Snyder Cut is definitely not better than this.
No, that's a ridiculous statement. The Snyder Cut is a top 10 superhero movie of all
First
time.
of all, the Snyder Cut is 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Number two, there is so much slow motion and that doesn't need to be in it. And the CGI was just terrible as well. The whole plot of it was so bad. It was such a bad movie.
No,
I think it's better than the original.
It's obviously better than the original.
Well, it gives you more backstory.
I am a CGI guy. Like, if CGI looks bad, I will shit on a movie. Okay.
Good.
And the Snyder Cut does not have that problem. You're way off with that. Way off.
The Flash
I don't know.
CGI was god awful.
In the Flash movie, yes.
Oh, yes.
The Flash CGI in the Snyder Cut is
No,
not.
No, that wasn't
That
bad.
was
That
actually
very
done
good.
pretty well.
I will literally only give you that Blue Beetle is the best DC movie of this year.
This year.
That's all
okay.
I will give you. Because the Suicide Squad is better. Also, I
wasn't a fan of that one either, though.
Wonder Woman, the Suicide Squad, not the first one. The James Gunn
I
one.
enjoyed the first one. I liked seeing Deadshot in the original kind of cast of the Suicide Squad.
No, that's one of the worst superhero movies of all time.
This guy, I love it. I love it.
And then I personally like Batman v Superman better, but I know that that's a hot take.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman's better. I mean, we could go forever.
I
We're not
enjoyed
even
the
talking
first
about
Wonder Woman.
animated. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're not even talking about animated. I mean, I could go forever in animated. I feel like Blue Beetle, I've seen this movie a million times. I liked it. I really had a good time with it. I talked about this on our podcast. I am 50% Cuban. So seeing the Latino family aspects of it really did a lot for me because I really get that. Like the grandmother never speaking a word of English.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
Their Spanglish was perfect. Like they did so many things that were that's how it is in my family, everything like that. So I personally had a great time with it, but I've seen this movie a million times. I mean, how many times have we seen, bad guy making a suit that's going to be sold to the military, and then there's one person on the bad guy's side that
Ant-Man,
is helping the
Iron
good
Man.
guy. Yeah,
I was going to say, I'm bringing up
Ant-Man.
Marvel. It's literally like Ant-Man and Iron Man.
I know.
Exactly. It's the same, it's the same thing. Now, that's okay, but I've just seen this movie a million times. So the stuff that made it unique for me, Latino family, brought it up a couple points, but to say that this is the best DC movie, I think is wild, man.
So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on 1984 then?
That movie's
Wonder
terrible.
Woman?
That's great.
That's one of the
That is so
it's
fucking
crazy.
dog shit.
It is so crazy to me that movie is as bad as it is, and it's the third worst movie in the DCEU.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why
that's how bad the DCEU is that
I know.
Wonder Woman 84 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and there are two movies that are worse in that franchise.
Yeah. Well,
totally.
I was excluding, Christian Bale's Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman because those came out at a different time. But I was so let me.
Then you can't say DC. You got to say DCEU.
That's fair. This is in my opinion, I honestly think this is the best DCEU movie of all time.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy thing to say because a lot of people that like hate Snyder are just not going to like his projects just cuz.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's your situation. And a lot of people on the internet, specifically Twitter, seem to think that I'm the figurehead for Snyder haters, even though I'm a Snyder defender 90% of the time. I hate Man of Steel. And just because I hate Man of Steel, they think I hate everything he's done.
Yeah, but I heard you say that, and I'm kind of surprised because I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, no, you're not
Man of Steel.
You're not. Neither of you are Superman fans, and that's okay. But neither of you are Superman fans.
Well, I honestly just like last year, I think I finished Smallville. I started watching Smallville, and I enjoyed that a lot.
And you still like Man of Steel after watching Smallville?
The thing is I watched Man of Steel before I watched Smallville, so I think if I'm gonna get a better take on Man of Steel, I think I have to go and rewatch Man of Steel.
How do they kill his dad in Smallville again, or do they not?
He has a heart attack
in Smallville? Exactly, perfect. You know why he has a heart attack?
In Smallville, the reason he has a heart attack is because he made a deal with Kal-El's real father, Jor-El, and it like messed with his heart and did all that.
No. But like why story-wise he has a heart attack?
No, I actually don't.
It teaches Clark. Typically, Pa Kent dies from a heart attack literally in every iteration of Superman because it teaches Clark the very valuable lesson that he can't save everyone. You know what he can save his father from? A fucking tornado. And his dad, when he's like, should I just not save the bus full of kids? His dad is like, probably not. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good point.
Do not get me started on the final battle with Zod, which literally is not exaggerating to say it is a 9/11 level event in Metropolis. Tens of thousands of people are dead.
That is really true, actually.
Because of Superman. Now, after watching Smallville, do you think that is the same guy? Absolutely not. Because Snyder only knows how to make Batman. And I think he's good at it because I really like Ben Affleck's Batman. But
I do too.
I enjoyed it.
He only knows how to make Batman because like he made Superman Batman and it's terrible.
That's a valid point.
And the thing is I kind of wish we kind of got a Ben Affleck solo movie because I mean I would have liked to see more of actually just Batman and not Batman getting overpowered by Superman all the time. Like, you know, not like physically overpowered, but just, you know, on screen overpowered. Because everybody sees Superman and they're like, oh, Superman, you know, and they're all attracted to Superman more than Batman most of the time.
I definitely agree that we should I wish we would have gotten a Ben Affleck solo movie, but you know, like we did get solo moments. Like in Batman v Superman, there's the warehouse fight, which is, in my opinion, the best fight I've ever seen in any superhero movie. And then and we did get cool, unique, interesting stuff. I will always say the biggest fault for Batman v Superman, in my opinion, is making the final villain Doomsday, because it just takes the Trinity, right? Where it's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and it makes it so that Wonder Woman and Superman are the only relevant players, because Batman cannot, absolutely in no universe can he compete with Doomsday. So the whole fight he's delegated to running away and shooting long-range Kryptonian kryptonite grenades, when like if it was Bizarro at the end of the movie, which makes more sense because Lex Luthor is operating on Zod's body. It makes more sense for it to be a human-sized fucking thing, like rather than this big ugly monster. If you're mixing human blood with Kryptonian blood, for it to create an ugly monster that stays the same size makes more sense story-wise anyway. But if it's Bizarro, this whole movie, Batman has been training to fight Superman. So he can conceivably fight a Bizarro character, and then you could get all three of the Trinity involved. And I just think that wouldn't be the saving grace, because that movie has a lot of problems other than Doomsday. But I think that alone saves like 50% of the end fight of that movie, which is, in my opinion, the worst part.
I mean, everything that I saw, the shows that did Bizarro, like Smallville and the new one, Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
I mean, they look good. Like Bizarro was good in Smallville. And from what I've seen on TikTok from Superman and Lois, Bizarro also looks like really good in that show as well. But the CW will always find some way to screw it up.
100%.
So let's jump into Blue Beetle. So as you guys know, Blue Beetle just came out this past year, August 18th. It is a action/adventure with a runtime of 2 hours and 7 minutes, and it is PG-13 rating.
Yes. And right now we're gonna just break down the plot. So the plot of this movie is Jaime Reyes suddenly finds himself in possession of an ancient relic of alien biotechnology called the Scarab. When the Scarab chooses Jaime to be its symbiotic host, he's bestowed with an incredible suit of armor that's capable of extraordinary and unpredictable powers, forever changing his destiny as he becomes the superhero Blue Beetle.
So
I think that really sums it up.
It described it pretty well. What do you think of the plot of this movie? Like, do you think it was like accurate, or do you think it was missing something, or was it like actually good? What are your guys' thoughts?
So I enjoyed seeing it, even though we've seen it many times, and I'm not trying to compare it to an Iron Man or an Ant-Man, but I really enjoyed the cast of this movie. I thought they were amazing. And I loved how, I love just the backstory of the Scarab. You don't get much of it, but you get a little bit. And then you also see the original Blue Beetle. You get Easter eggs of the original suits that were there, but he never got the Scarab.
Yeah, exactly. That was really cool.
It's very interesting, and I enjoyed the plot. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Alex?
I thought it was good. I had a lot of fun in the theater. I saw it with one of my roommates, and he gave it a 10 out of 10. It's one of his favorite movies of all time.
See, that's a stretch.
Yeah, well, he is Mexican, and he really resonated with it, and the family aspect and this and that. A little bit of how I was saying it, but I think he resonated more so. I had a great time with it, but at the end of the day, it's not a... I think we spent maybe 20 minutes talking about it on our own podcast. It's not a Spider-Verse, you know what I'm saying? I can't I could talk about Spider-Verse for the rest of my life.
I know. Could we.
And still not cover everything. This one, it's just not a lot to write home about. It's good. I hope to see a sequel to it. I don't know if we'll get it, considering how it's doing monetarily, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, especially with the past projects that they've put out recently, The Flash.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like this movie was good. It was enjoyable. It was fun, but it was something that we've all seen before. Like we have the backstory. We have the guy who was being abused, and then he ends up becoming the villain. He makes his own suit. It's like something we've all seen before a million times. The only thing that's different is the family aspect,
right?
That we don't see, that we haven't seen in anything else.
But the family aspect was spectacular.
I think it was the best part of the movie.
Everybody's highlight of the movie, of course.
Yeah. So, talking about the family aspect of the movie, let's talk about the cast of the film.
No.
My segues have been so bad.
They have been terrible.
Yeah.
He's been real bad.
They've slowly been getting very, very worse.
They've been getting like dad joke worse.
Kind of. Yeah.
That's good.
I'm
pro. That's good. I like that.
So up first we have Xolo Maridueña as Jaime Reyes. He is known for the hit TV show Cobra Kai and another TV show called Parenthood. He actually has also voiced a bunch of other characters in different shows, but they're all like, I don't even know. They're not superhero. They're just like, I think they're kid shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm going to butcher all of these names. So this is going to be a ride. Up next, we have Bruna Marquezine. I don't even know how the fuck you say that.
I don't know. This is why we have Google.
Is that Jenny Cord?
Yeah, Jenny. Yeah. How the hell do you say your last name?
I don't know, but she dated Neymar.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a trip. Well, anyway, we know who she is. She plays Jenny Cord in this, and she's known for the TV series Women in Love, God Save the King, and America. Not many big projects, to be honest. A lot of them, I believe, aren't even in the U.S. From when I looked. Yeah. So, but she was phenomenal in this movie. I thought she was very good.
Oh yeah, she was great.
So,
at first, I thought her acting was a little shit in the beginning, but then it got better over time.
Yeah.
Like when she first like ran into Jaime and like they first met and all that stuff, it was a little her acting was a little meh to me. It was just like she was just saying it. It's not like she was like actually worried. Like even when she gave the scarab, it was a little
protect this with your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. I thought she was good though, so I don't have any gripes with her performance. Who do we have up next?
Yeah, you're gonna kill me, dude. This is horrible. I'm gonna say Damián Alcázar as Alberto Reyes, Jaime's father, known for the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, Chronicus, Hell, and the Crime of Padre Amoro. Sorry.
I liked him in this movie. I thought he was good.
Oh, I thought he was
great.
The
role wasn't extensive.
No,
but like it wasn't a demanding role acting wise, but it was he did a good job. Up next, I think is the best character in this entire film.
Oh, 100%.
Besides Jaime, George Lopez as Rudy Reyes. I think he makes this movie as good as it is, and without him, I think it would kind of be a flop. I don't know what your take is on that, Alex, but I think he was the best character in this film.
Besides Xolo, to me.
Yeah.
I thought he was funny, but I did not feel that way. I don't think that this movie would have been a flop without him. I disagree
really?
with that statement.
Okay. Maybe just because I'm a big George Lopez guy.
I think
he's great. I think he's great, and I love every second of him being on screen. But I wouldn't go so far as to say this would be a flop without him.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I bet though he did drive some people to theater. You know, like
I think so as well.
His presence in the film drove people to theaters.
Considering the box office, no presence in the film drove nobody to theaters.
That's actually pretty fair, to be honest. So, George Lopez.
What is it? It's $120 million budget. You got to double that for marketing, and this movie had a big marketing budget. So what? It's $220 million budget, and it just crossed $100 million.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah,
so didn't do that good. So, but George Lopez, I feel like he's known for the show that we obviously all have woken up at like 3 a.m. and to watch George Lopez. And
not even woken up to watch. It was just we woke up because it came on and it was so loud in the intro.
That is so fair. He's also in The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and he's a very well-respected stand-up comedian. So
Shark Boy and Lava Girl, top tier.
Now I've watched it recently again for some reason, and I just can't think of why did we enjoy it. It was actually really bad
because we were stupid kids.
Really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 22 now, but like seeing it now, it's so fucking garbage.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I just completely disagree with that.
Really? You like it?
But you're a CG guy, and
I know.
How can you?
Oh yeah, but who cares? It's for kids. Like we don't take this. This isn't $100 million budget movie. This was a made-for-TV movie. Taylor Lautner was like 8 years old, and dude, the freaking Mr. Electric sends him to the principal's office to get him expelled is incredible.
God.
There's so many lines like that in this movie. Like, I don't know how you don't have a good time watching it.
No, I'm not saying it's not enjoyable. It is, but it's watching it. The CG is so bad. There's one scene where Shark Boy is biting a cage, and it is so bad. The CGI, it's like something I've never seen before. It's that bad. But it's
the lullaby scene kind of covers for that.
That's fair.
Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream, and get us out. Dream, 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 dream. I can go on.
Let's not though. We don't want to hear you sing that. So who do we have up next?
We have Adriana Barraza as Nana Reyes, known for Babel. She was actually in Thor.
Really?
The MCU Thor. Drag Me to Hell, and Rambo Last Blood.
I think her role in this was really good. She was cool.
That was the grandmother. She was badass.
I know, she was really nice.
She grabbed the big ass gun and
I know the Gatling gun and I like how her past was very mysterious. I thought that was a good wrinkle in the story here. So
it was hilarious.
Yeah. Up next we have Belissa Escobedo as Milagro Reyes. Is that
I think so.
His mom, I believe?
No.
Sister. No? Sister. Oh, okay. She was cool. I liked her in this film. She was in Hocus Pocus 2, Sex Appeal, and Don't Look Deeper. She was a good sister role in this. Not much else. Like the role was cool. I don't know.
Wasn't too much of a fan.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't that big of a fan of the sister.
Okay. I didn't mind her.
What are your thoughts on her, Alex?
Andrew hated her.
Yeah.
I did not.
Okay.
I don't think she was terrible, but I just didn't really enjoy her as much.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, no, of course, but there's always gonna be characters like that in a movie. At least she's not Aquafina, man.
Oh my
god, dude! Don't even get me started with her. I don't. You hate her.
I fucking hate her, dude.
Don't mind her in some projects. You don't like her I don't like Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah. John hates Jennifer Coolidge.
I haven't seen her in enough to hate her. Like I didn't watch White Lotus.
Oh no! Oh god, don't. She's fucking. It's insufferable. I can't watch anything with her in it. She plays the same role in every fucking movie she's ever been in.
Wow.
Well, so does Aquafina.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing.
Stupid fucking dragon.
Yeah.
That I tried to watch that and I was honestly getting pissed off. Her voice is just so annoying.
Yeah. Do we want to keep going with these, or do we want to just hop right into the other questions?
I mean, there's a few that we should probably touch on, like Susan Sarandon as Victoria Cord, known for Thelma and Louise, Dead Man Walking, and Stepmom, and The Client. Everybody, you hear Susan Sarandon. A lot of our parents know exactly who she is.
Me, I only know her face. Like I don't know who she is and what she's from and whatnot. But yeah.
She's in a movie. She's in a baseball movie called Bull Durham with Kevin Costner.
Okay.
And it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Kevin Costner loves his baseball movies, though.
Oh, he loves his baseball, and I love him for it. I love Kevin Costner, but she's in this baseball movie with Kevin Costner called Bull Durham with the guy from Shawshank Redemption, not Morgan Freeman, the white guy.
Right.
He's in it too. But it's a terrible, terrible movie. But there's a scene in it, and if you Google it, you just Google Bull Durham mound meeting. I legitimately think it's the greatest scene in the history of comedy.
Really?
Like legitimately. I give that movie a 3 out of 10, and the 3 is exclusively for that scene.
Damn.
Like the rest of the movie, I think, is so bad and so unlikable, and I hated every other character like completely.
Mm-hmm.
But the mound meeting scene is like brilliant. It's like brilliantly written. It's so unbelievably funny. It's just crazy. It's just everything works in it. It's amazing. It
but really that's the thing. There are some movies that
have such a good scene.
Yeah, there are some movies that could be just absolute dog shit, but they have like one good scene or like one kind of good sequence, and it could just make it a little bit better. Not save the whole movie, but it could just make it that much better.
Well, I feel like I think a lot of bad movies, obviously I don't feel this way for Man of Steel, but I think there are a lot of bad movies with like really superb, spectacular moments that like you always remember. Like I'll never forget like X-Men Origins Wolverine is a terrible movie.
Yeah, no.
It's just terrible. But the opening with Sabretooth and Wolverine fighting through wars through time is awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of that, when we covered Into the Spider-Verse, Liev Schwarber voices Kingpin, who plays Sabretooth.
Yes,
he actually we tagged him in like 3 of the reels that we were posting, and he actually ended up liking one of the reels. So we went fucking crazy for that because that was the biggest encounter we've had since you coming on the show. But we and then I tried to like DM him like 3 times and it just didn't work.
Yeah. Did you know he voices Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks.
Like NFL Hard Knocks?
Oh.
I had no
Yeah,
idea.
No, I didn't know that.
I had no idea. I thought
That
it was
is,
awesome.
unless that's this year, unless it's specifically the New York Jets this year, I don't believe you're correct.
Apparently, he has for a couple years at least.
I think you're
So
wrong.
I don't know how. I mean,
He's gonna fact check you right now.
He's gonna prove me wrong, but
I do not think you're right in the slightest, to be honest.
no, since 2001. That's crazy.
2001
There's
till now.
There's no way that you're correct on that.
Till now?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Lee Schreiber has lent his voice as the voice of Hard Knocks since 2001. That's insane. I never knew that. I just thought it was the last couple of years, but I haven't really watched Hard Knocks. I only really watched it because of the Jets.
It's really good. It's really good. I didn't watch this year yet, but like last year's was the best ever. Last year's was so good.
When I pull up the cast, he is literally the first one.
That's insane.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. It sounds nothing like him. He's a really gifted voice actor, I guess.
Yeah, I had no idea until I saw him come up on screen in the season.
Well, I also didn't know he voiced Kingpin because his voice kind of changed a lot. So I was like, who is this? And then I look him up, and I'm like, oh my god, it's the guy from X-Men Origins.
You guys like have you guys seen the thing where it's Kingpin and he's like, it's not all about the money, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
it's about the Mets. It's about the Mets.
Yeah,
Mets.
We have a whole moment on our show because we covered Spider-Verse, the first and the second, so we had the same guest on for both episodes. And we bring the guy on, and that's like his favorite quote with the movie. He quotes it. We bring it up on screen and everything. So
John on our Instagram, he has the little the reel, and it's under it. He just has the animated. It's all about the Mets Spider-Man.
It's so good.
Is there anybody else from the cast we want to mention, or
no? I think we can. Skedaddle on down.
Okay, so now we'll jump into what's new coming to theaters. We have My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 coming out September 8th.
My mom, she was like, I told her about that because I just saw the trailer for it this weekend.
I didn't even know they're making another one. I'm like, come on.
I didn't either. And she watched the first one and she just goes, I didn't even know they fucking made a second one.
Yeah. Do we need a third? Probably not.
I don't know.
I'm sorry I laughed there. I was just so prepared for you to say that these movies were your mother's favorite movies of all time because they
honestly, to be honest though, they honestly might be. I don't know.
These two movies are in my mother's top 20 of all time. No question.
They most likely could be.
Oh God.
My mother is so excited for Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. They're going to Greece this time. She's so pumped. She is so excited, and my girlfriend's excited. We love this franchise. The first one is legitimately a classic. The second one's terrible. But
yeah, I didn't even know they made a second one.
This third one is probably going to be the worst movie of all time, but my family is pumped.
Well, the only thing I know from My Big Fat Greek Wedding is Windex. The Windex on the pimple.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know from the movie.
That's a good bit. But there's some actually genuinely impressive bits from the first one. They do there's a joke that you lose me? Did you lose me?
No, we're good.
There's a bit in the first one that the family of the guy that's marrying into the family.
Right.
They're just two old white people. And they come alone and they bring a bundt cake with the hole in the middle. Right. And they're like, what the fuck is this cake? Why is there a hole in the middle? And so they come out with the bundt cake and there's a plant in the middle of the cake.
Oh,
there's just brilliant bits like that. There's the bit where everybody in the family is Nick. They're all named Nick and they're like, okay, this is our cousin Nick, Nicky, Nick, and he goes on forever, and then he goes, and I am Gus. Hilarious. Really, really funny shit in those movies. Those movies, that first movie has some really, really strong humor.
Yeah, I just know the Windex because that's what my mom used to say all the time when I was young, but I've never fully watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Interesting.
But also coming out on September 8th, which this is being released after, is The Nun 2. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I was in theaters seeing Blue Beetle, and this trailer comes on.
You told me.
Dude, I fucking shit my pants. I was not expecting it to come up. They have this one scene in the trailer where this little girl goes to a little like crawl space.
Oh yeah.
Into like the library. She's shining her flashlight from side to side.
Yeah.
She sees the nun standing there. I'm like, oh, that's like a little jump scare. Okay, cool. She comes out from that hole. The girls are like talking about it. Like she's freaking out because she saw the nun. And then all of a sudden the nun fucking grabs her and drags her in it. And dude, when I tell you, I was so scared. It's like I just wasn't expecting it to happen. Oh my God.
The Nun 1 has the best, in my opinion. I don't think the Nun 1 is that good of a movie, but the Nun 1 has one of the best, if not the strongest, horror movie trailer of all time.
Really?
And that's part of the reason why that movie made so much money, is because that trailer was just so strong. So they were really trying to recreate that moment with that trailer moment. And it's not nearly as good as the original.
I never even saw the original.
I saw the movie.
Trailer. Sorry. I'm a huge Conjuring fan. Conjuring 2, which is the first appearance of the Nun, is my second favorite horror movie of all time. Really? So I'm actually really pumped for the Nun 2. I have a friend of mine in Australia that just went to like a early screening, and she said it was fabulous. So I'm really excited for this movie because I think the first one's kind of bad, but when the Conjuring movies hit, man, they hit.
So the next movie that's coming out up next is A Haunting in Venice. That comes out September 15th. So another horror film with one of the actors from Tenet. I can't remember his name.
It's not John.
You're gonna call Kenneth Branagh one of the guys from Tenet? Really?
I've never seen him in anything else.
Dude, wasn't he's Death on the Nile?
Is he?
And
oh yes, yeah. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Express.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I was gonna correct you. Yeah, this isn't a horror movie. This is a murder mystery.
Oh, okay. I saw the trailer for that when I was seeing Blue Beetle too. So.
And Kenneth Branagh, you would also know him. Are you guys Harry Potter fans?
Yes,
I am not.
Yes, he plays what's his name?
He's Lockhart.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the guy with one eye, right?
Yeah.
I remember we talked about
it. That's Mad Eye Moody.
Yeah, he plays
Mad Eye Moody.
The fake.
He's the handsome guy from the second one.
Yeah. He's not a Harry Potter guy. He doesn't like Harry Potter.
No idea.
I love Harry Potter. He's like
what?
Yeah. I know.
Why don't you like Harry Potter?
I've just never gotten into it.
You won't give it a chance.
And I never said I didn't like it. I just said I've never watched it. Did you read the books, John?
Fuck no, I don't read. We do movie reviews. I watch the movie version of everything. I don't read. That's not me. I don't do that shit.
I read the books. The books are quite good.
Yeah, so
I know.
You.
I've heard they're really good. I just don't read. It's simple as that. But let's jump into three movies that we've seen recently, or movies that we've seen recently. I know for me, I recently saw Smile again for the second time. I
wanted to watch it, but I haven't yet.
It was pretty enjoyable. What have you seen recently?
On Netflix, I watched The Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3. I love those movies.
They're just classic. At least the first one's really great.
Well, yeah. But the second one is not bad, and I love how they're incorporating all of this stuff into the new Cobra Kai show.
I've never seen Cobra Kai, but I know.
Dude, you're killing it.
I know.
What do you think of Cobra Kai, Alex?
I haven't watched it.
Really?
See, you don't.
Have you seen the original Karate Kids?
I've seen the original one, and I've seen the Jaden Smith one.
Okay.
Fair. I used to watch those growing up, so they're really entertaining.
Oh yeah. Nice voice crack.
I
had one in the beginning.
If a show, I don't know, if a show isn't being oh my gosh, this is the best show of all time, the way that The Bear has been recommended to me.
The Bear is fantastic.
Or Barry has been recommended to me, then I'm not going to watch it if it's not a big franchise show.
That's fair.
Barry is with
I have so much to watch. I haven't watched my job.
Oh no.
My job is a superhero nerd Star Wars podcast, and until last night I hadn't watched any of Ahsoka. I'm just so behind on everything.
I didn't watch. I watched the first episode.
Yeah, I haven't seen the newest episode of Ahsoka yet. I heard it was very emotional.
something major happened that obviously got spoiled for me, as everything gets spoiled for me. And so I was like, oh, well, if that happened, I guess I need to catch up. I was watching it with one of my roommates, and we are 2.5 episodes in, and we have already counted 28 butt shots, which is an average of 10 butt shots per episode, which is crazy because there's 3 butt shots in all of the sequels. So the verdict is that Dave Filoni is just a pervert.
Makes sense. Well, yeah, I watched the first one. There are a lot of ass shots.
I know.
There's a lot of butt shots, and
it's really weird.
It's not like it's like, oh, this is a shot with a butt in it. It's like, no,
it's like ass in your face kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
a lot with Hera. I've noticed.
Yeah. Wait, which one's that? The multicolored hair?
Yeah, with the green. No, the green hair.
No, not green hair. She's
a green girl.
She's got the tails.
Oh, the one that
alien.
Yeah.
She also plays
yes, I know
the villain in Sky High.
Yeah.
The old Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's really good that you pointed that out, because I noticed that too.
Yeah, no, a lot of butt shots. A lot of butt shots with her. But we
pretty weird, honestly.
I mean, I just thought it was very, very funny. Like there's literally in the 3rd episode, there's like a hologram of Hera, the green one that we're talking about right now. And it's like tiny. It's like this big. And you still get 2 butt shots. You still get 2 butt shots from this little hologram. It's crazy.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what are 3 movies that you've seen recently? Or, I mean, obviously you can talk about you can say Ahsoka, because that's what we're on right now.
I mean, yeah, we just talked about Ahsoka. So I watched 2.5 episodes of Ahsoka last night. I got to finish the last 2 today. What else we got? What have I watched recently? I rewatched Ocean's 11 this week with my girlfriend.
Oh, that's a great movie.
That's a really good one.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's just one of my all-time favorites, man. I like to watch it probably once a year at least. Yeah. It's just and I love the 3rd one too. Ocean's 13 is also so fun.
12 is like
12 is bad, man. I've only watched 12 once.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the twist of 12, I think is the strongest twist of the 3 of them, but it is just so tedious, everything beforehand. So, yeah, but Ocean's 13 is a fucking whale of a time, man.
It's fucking
fantastic. I haven't seen it yet. The only one I've ever seen was 11, because we covered it in an episode.
11 is great. 11's the best one, and 11's my favorite.
So I watched the good one then.
13, yeah, you watched the good one. But 13 is like so fun. Like 13, it's the villain is Al Pacino.
Yeah,
and they're working together.
Oh, that's cool.
They're working together with Andy Garcia and to take down Al Pacino. Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
It's so good. It's
so fun.
good. It's like so fun, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I love it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I also like Ocean's 8, the woman one.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, Alex said it was pretty good too. We talked about that in the episode. So,
and then what else have I watched recently? I watched the Lego Movie the other day again. That's always a fun movie.
That is fun. Yeah.
You know, Lord and Miller, they're just 2 of the best filmmakers of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a masterclass. I do think that the Lego Movie is the best movie they've directed, but like they're so brilliant, and like you can tell, like you're watching the Lego Movie, you could just tell they're genius. You could be like, oh, these are, in a couple years, these are going to be 2 of the most important people in all of Hollywood. Like you could just tell in 2014 with the Lego Movie. I mean, what a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a very fun movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, and you compare it to some of the dog shit that Pixar's been putting out lately, and it's like they just need to hire Lord and Miller to take over Pixar, because they every animated project ever should now be Lord and Miller, because they're the best in the business. I mean, I think the 2 best animated movies of all time are Spider-Verse 1 and Spider-Verse 2. Then I've got a couple of the.
I love this guy.
Then I've got then I've got a couple of the Pixars. Right, like I've got Incredibles up there, Nemo up there, Toy Story 3 up there, but then it's probably some more Lord and Millers. I mean, Mitchell's versus the Machines, the Lego Movie.
That's a good one.
Lord and Miller. I mean, like think about that. Like Like, if I just named 7 animated movies and Lord and Miller are responsible for 4 of them, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy.
That's pretty
and
telling.
then the live action. Their live action is great. The 21 and 22 Jump Street are hilarious. Cocaine Bear was hilarious. Lord and Miller are just the best. They're the best. I'll die on that hill. I mean, you can't be directly responsible for Spider-Verse 1, Spider-Verse 2, and not be legendary. You know what I'm saying?
That is pretty telling.
Cocaine Bear was funny, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not a great movie, but it's so funny, dude.
But that's exactly how we described it when we did it.
When the park ranger, the park ranger, when the park ranger is like
climbs up the tree,
has the gun.
Okay.
And she's about to open the door, and she's talking about a bear, but the kids that got beat the shit out of by Ice Cube's son think she's talking about Ice Cube's son, and they're like, "You're gonna shoot him?" And she's like, "Of course I'm gonna shoot him. He took a bite out of my ass." And they just go, "This guy's crazy." It's the funniest. That's the hardest I laughed in the theater this year.
It was a very funny movie. It wasn't very good, but it was hilarious, and that's fun. Like, there's movies that are like that.
It's poorly paced, but who fucking cares? What you guys think of Mutant Mayhem?
I didn't go see it.
I haven't seen it yet either. I really want to, because like I heard it was really fun, but I haven't gotten around to see it yet.
It's my second favorite movie. It's my second favorite movie of the year.
Really?
Damn. Whoever's telling you it's fun and not good is wrong. It's spectacular. It's second to only Spider-Verse.
The thing is,
for me, I feel like just watching the trailer in itself, the animation style was so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So that's continuous throughout the entire film, I'm assuming, obviously. I definitely want to see it.
It's spectacular. The animation is stunning.
That's awesome.
I saw a clip on TikTok of like the opening where Splinter like takes the turtles up, and like they see Splinter and they're like, "He's a fucking rat man" or whatever, like kill him, and they start chasing him down. And like it looks good, and I like Jackie Chan as Splinter. I like his voiceovers, but now the kids are technically teenagers in this, right? Is that the whole?
They are.
All right. Well, I guess that gives it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I hate you.
Isn't that just the name? Up. So that's pretty telling in itself. Just saying.
Yeah, but in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action, they were like full adult.
Were they? Okay. I'm not really big fan of
Thad. Thad was one of Thad was Raph. Okay. Johnny Knoxville was
he played one of them?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Oh god.
The guy from Mickey from Shameless
really
was another one. I don't know. And Michelangelo was Mickey from Shameless.
Weird. Okay.
And then oh god, who was the fourth one?
The cast in this movie is spectacular. I mean, these kids are stars. I can't wait to see them in more stuff. They are so funny. They are so likable. I mean, the Michelangelo had me peeing my pants the whole movie. There's a incredible joke where they're introducing all of like the mutants other than the turtles. Yeah. And there's like a fish, and his name's Ray Fillet, and he's played by Post Malone. And,
oh my god, no way.
And no, the cast is great. Paul Rudd is in it. Paul Rudd is hilarious.
I gotta see this thing. Yeah, come on.
It's Paul Rudd, Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen. No,
the cast is unreal. Giancarlo Esposito is in it for like 2 lines.
He's in it too.
It's
fuck, hey.
No. It's a crazy cast. But they're like introducing all of the mutants, and every mutant is a megastar. John Cena, Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, all of them are like megastars. But like,
are you kidding?
One of them is Ray Fillet, which is Post Malone, and they're introducing all of them, and then they like describe themselves. So it'd be like Bebop and Rocksteady, and they're like, "Yo, what up?" Right? And they like start going by, and then he goes, and here's Ray Fillet, and he's like, "Ray Fillet," and he starts singing it, but he sings it. I kid you not, he sings it for a minute. He like holds the fillet for a minute. I was fucking crying. I was laughing so hard. There's such a ridiculous thing to have Post Malone do. It was amazing.
Funny.
That's awesome. I definitely got to see it then. I mean, this sounds like
if you said Mark Ruffalo, I think John would have booked it out.
I'm not that big a fan of Mark Ruffalo. Get it out of your head.
Sounds like you're a big old Mark Ruffalo dick rider, man.
He loves Ruffalo.
Bro, you're gaslighting this whole fuck that. No.
Did you see Dark Waters?
No.
Oh, you'd love it. It's with Mark Ruffalo.
For fuck's sake, man. Now you got Alex talking about this shit too.
It's great. Anne Hathaway's in it. It's great. It's about him like uncovering a conspiracy of like fucked up water that's ruining everybody's teeth.
Well, we just watched we just did a review on Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Ruffalo's in it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I didn't even know he was in it until like when he first gets on screen. Yeah, because I didn't look at the cast beforehand.
You were thrilled.
I was so happy when he walked on screen. I'm just gonna leave it at that
because you don't know what else to say.
I was gonna get canceled if I said something else. So let's move on.
So we're gonna run through this kind of quick. Yeah. So the director is Angel Manuel Soto. I think she. It's
I don't even know.
Question. Let's.
He.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I think he did a very good job directing this, even though it's something we've all seen before. But I think for an introduction for a superhero movie, especially like Blue Beetle and the Scarab, I think he did a very good job.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was really well done. There's not much else to say. I feel like we've mentioned it a million times. Like this is something we've seen before, but the added family aspect was a really good part. So.
Right.
That's why I was talking to you guys before we started filming. I was like, dude, we're talking about Blue Beetle for a whole episode. Like, I could not do that. I'm telling you, we talked about it for 15 minutes on our podcast. You know, I'm just like, it's just, we've said everything that needs to be said.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not unique. It's not unique in the slightest, but the stuff that makes it unique is the best part. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I know. So now we can jump right into visual effects. I mean, it was good. This, I feel like, was one of the best CG movies that we've seen from DC recently.
Yeah, I have to say, I think so.
Really? You disagree?
No. Yes, I think the suit looks like ass.
Really?
Yeah,
I love the suit up.
No, it's so ugly. I don't like it in the slightest. It looks like a rubber suit. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, look at how amazing that it's practical, whatever. I just think it's an ugly suit. It frustrates the hell out of me that everybody's raving about the visual effects. There aren't any visual effects. Everything's practical, and the practical shit looks like ass. Well, if you're going to do something practical, make it look good. Golly, I don't understand what's so difficult about this. You know
what I'm talking about is the actual suit up where his clothes start to burn and like you get the black like I honestly love that. I thought the suit up scene was
who cares?
Right,
like what an irrelevant
I'll just go fuck myself.
What an irrelevant part of an irrelevant ass movie. Again, this is a 7 out of 10. We are never going to rewatch this movie. It's like it was fun. It's cute. I hope we get a sequel. But also, if we don't, I'm not going to lose any sleep about it.
That's not a bad point. I won't lie. So, but since you brought up the that one scene with the suit up, I feel like the directing and the kind of like script that they had for that scene in particular was kind of ass. They were making jokes while he was like in such pain.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they didn't show like any concern about him at all. Like
I was
disagree. I disagree with you completely there, Bubba.
Really?
Just completely. Yeah, that's just,
he gave you a cute nickname too.
I might have to get that on a shirt or something. I'll put that underneath my sweatshirt here. March link in the description.
I call everybody Bubba. You're not special.
Damn it.
No, fucking, like, I completely disagree with that statement. Like, if they would have been acting like serious in that moment, like, oh my gosh, you're in pain, then like literally every single person that the three of us, all three of us would have liked that movie less. Like, that's one of the best scenes to like flesh out the family dynamic.
I don't disagree.
That's one of the most entertaining scenes in the movie. If everything is to be taken seriously in a superhero movie, then we shouldn't make superhero movies.
Well, no, I get that, but like I just feel like they didn't show any concern. I get that it was a really good scene because they had all the comedy and everything, but I felt like it could have had a little bit more of like concern for his
George
well-being.
Lopez screaming for like a minute straight was fucking
hilarious.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a very good scene, but like, let's be a little bit realistic here.
It's on your face,
dude. If you want realism in your superhero movies, then that's like then you don't like superhero movies. Like that's why you like Man of Steel.
Damn.
He's really calling you out.
That's all right.
What is realistic? What is realistic about this alien super suit that goes into your skin and has the voice of Becky G. Nothing is realistic about that. Like what is realistic about?
I can't believe that was the voice of the Scarab.
I thought that was an odd choice to have her have no emotion. Like, if you're gonna get Becky G, right? Like, at least give her some emotion. But no, she's just robot the whole time. That was a weird choice. If you're gonna get Becky G.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair. Is there any other visual effects that you want to touch
on? This isn't even in the movie, but like the opening where after the Universal, you see the Warner Brothers logo, and it's literally like showing up
in suit up.
Yeah, it's showing up in the style of Blue Beetle. And then it switches to, the DC logo, which I thought was pretty cool because technically that gives you a little bit of insight. It's like, oh, he can make whatever he wants in the suit, even though we already knew that. But it's like, oh, okay, we just changed the Warner Brothers logo from the DC to the DC logo, so you could just change it into whatever your mind thinks of.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of, I don't want to say basic, but like every movie kind of does shit like that now. So
I enjoyed it.
It was cool, but like I don't think it was much
just
to
getting shit on today, apparently.
But anyway, let's jump into movie ratings on websites. This movie was kind of dogged on by certain people. So IMDb gave it a 6.7 out of 10. Metacritic gave it a 61 with a user score of 6.1. So exactly the same. Letterboxd gave it a 3.2 out of 5. But decent score. And then Rotten Tomatoes was kind of high, I won't lie, with a 78%.
Yeah, that's a little high. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that being high, I think IMDb is pretty accurate. Metacritic might be a little low, but I mean, I think it's a little bit better than 60s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stay tuned for our final ratings. I feel like Alex's is pretty close to all of our scores here. But let's move on forward.
Yeah. So opening weekend and overall earnings and also budget. So the budget for this film was $104 million. Opening weekend, it made $25 million. And overall, so far, when I actually put this in, it could have made more, but I think Alex even said it made more.
Just over 100.
Yeah, just over $100 million.
So not doing that good.
But again, like that doesn't mean that they've broken even yet because you got to double it for the marketing budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like that 104 million is just production budget.
Yeah.
So it's just brutal what's happening to it at the box office. Along with all the DC movies, I'm just hoping it grows legs like Elemental because I really liked Elemental, and obviously Elemental grew legs. It ended up making more money than Spider-Verse, which is fucking crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I heard Elemental was shit.
You're wrong. Elemental's like one of the best Pixar movies in years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really good.
I swear I thought I heard it was terrible.
Do you guys know who Soups is?
Oh yeah, I love Soups. He was on your show.
Do we?
Yeah. Soups is a good buddy of mine. And we went to.
I love Soups.
We saw Elemental together.
Okay.
And we were at a screening, and we were there together, and literally there's like a moment at the end of the movie where I was tearing up, and Soups was sitting next to me, like audibly crying, like audibly. That's how good it is.
Well, that's how I was at during Avengers Endgame when Iron Man died, dude. I was sobbing.
Yeah.
It's a shame that movie isn't better.
Yeah. I know. So much potential.
I liked it.
Because it's a bad movie with like really spectacular stuff in it. But at the end of the day, it's kind of a mess and it's way too long.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it because like you have to. How can you not?
I think they did.
I like it, but I know people that think it's the best MCU movie. That's ridiculous.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking right at you.
Look at me.
You think Endgame's better than Infinity War?
I do.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that they did everything that they needed to do.
I disagree.
In Endgame, with the time that they did. Like with the time that they had for the movie.
Simply disagree.
Wild.
Yeah, I just don't agree. But anyway, we have a segment on the show with our favorites. We do a favorite quote and favorite scene. I know you said that you didn't really like super like love this movie, but do you have a favorite scene or a favorite quote from this movie at all?
I like when George Lopez says that his balls have grown That was really funny.
That is really good, too.
I forget what that was, but when he was like, "Oh, every time I spend time in that lake, my testicles grow 2 sizes." That's fucking hilarious. That is so fucking hilarious. And then I liked a lot of the stuff with the grandmother. So when the grandmother started shooting up everybody, and for the revolution, like that was my favorite scene, I guess.
Yeah, that's mine as well. I feel like there was so much potential with the grandma, and I like how it's all mysterious. So when they ask, she just like kind of ignores it. So I thought that was.
She's
really
like,
good.
"How do you know how to do that?" And she's just.
I don't know. I thought it was awesome. What about you, Vinny?
So my favorite scene, and this goes, kind of hand in hand with Batman. The Batman with Robert Pattinson. I love these kinds of scenes where they do, the hallway shots, and like it's pretty dark and you see the bullets, and I absolutely love the hallway scene when he is going back to save his sister, and like he finally suits back up after the reboot. Man, I love that. I fucking love that.
I liked it, but it was very convenient that his suit just started working at that exact time. But
well, obviously, and then my favorite quote is from George Lopez. It's the universe has sent you a gift, and you have to figure out what to do with it.
Good quote, but I feel like it's something we've heard in every single comic movie ever.
Yeah. Another really good scene, actually, that I like. It's one of the darker ones. It's when Jaime's father dies. The way Xolo acts is incredible. Oh my God. I just can't I can't say it enough. He's an amazing actor in Cobra Kai and in this. I loved his performances. Maybe.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a tad.
Dude, you dick ride the shit out of him in fucking Cobra Kai. I've never seen Cobra Kai.
He's great, dude. Like, you gotta watch it. He's fantastic.
I don't know. We'll see. I probably will never watch Cobra Kai. So
you never watch anything I recommend.
No. But let's take a break to mention the merch here, and we'll mention a merch code. So you guys can go to oneshotmoviepodcast.net and grab your merch. Code for this episode, what should it be?
Beetle.
Beetle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Code Beetle for
maybe Scarab might be too long. No.
Yeah, do Beetle.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do code Beetle for 15% off. You guys can grab t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, crew necks, desk mats, all the stuff's on there.
Pickleball set.
Pickleball set's on there as well. I don't know if you play pickleball, Alex, but we have a pickleball set on the site.
Love me some pickleball.
Dude, pickleball is actually really fun.
It is fun. I haven't played in a long time, but yeah, pickleball is really enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, go check out oneshotmoviepodcast.net for your merch. Use code Beetle for 15% off. So we have a couple questions for you here, Alex, to wrap up the show before we give off our final ratings. This is a kind of two-part question, but what movie was it that got you to love movies, and what about the movie like sticks with you? I know it's kind of a deep question, but like, for example, for me, it was Spider-Man 2. That was like the movie that like changed it all for me. I'm a big Spider-Man guy, like Andrew.
He loves Spider-Man. Can't get enough of Spider-Man.
What's your favorite Spider-Man movie?
My favorite is Spider-Man 2, I think.
Oh, that's just so wrong.
I was waiting.
What do you think the correct one is? Spider-Verse?
No, I
think Spider-Verse 2, Spider-Verse 1, No Way Home, Homecoming are all better.
Ooh.
I think it's just the nostalgia pretty much for me, because I watched that growing up a lot. But I think Spider-Verse 2 and 1 are the best ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Spider-Man 1 to the second one. I know that that's a semi-hot take, but
not really. It's still enjoyable.
I like Doc Ock as a villain.
I don't know if I have a movie that like made me love movies, so I'm just gonna go ahead with the old reliable. I'm just gonna say New Hope, the original Star Wars from 1977.
Okay, I like that take.
I just think it's the most perfect movie ever. I just don't think there's anything wrong with it, and and like something that just sticks with me about it, like, and I use it to like measure every other movie, because I definitely think there are movies that are better. Obviously, I think that I don't think that you guys will necessarily disagree with this. I don't think that most people would, but like New Hope is, I think, unquestionably the most important movie of all time.
Yes.
Like the impact it has, the impact it had, like on all of cinema is just so ridiculous. And the fact it was the second blockbuster, right? And the first blockbuster was Jaws. And you think about the impact that those two movies have on the rest of cinema, it's like ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta go Star Wars 1, so New Hope, 1977 is like the movie that's left the most impact on me, I guess. And the thing that sticks with me like the most about it is how perfectly paced it is. Every you know that like number formula? Yeah. And it's like 1 and then 2 and then 4 and then 8 and then 16 and then it keeps going and it's that times that, like it's the number squared after every single thing, so it multiplies to for infinity.
Right.
That equation, like I think that equation is how New Hope works, because like New Hope, the opening, it's like you're learning, like it's slower paced, but everything is building. The stakes get bigger and it gets more interesting and more interesting and more interesting and faster paced and faster paced and faster paced. So that everything on Tatooine, you're progressively getting faster paced, right? So like you think about like the start of the movie, everything happens pretty slow. The Empire, it's the blockade runner. It's everything like that. The Empire takes over the blockade runner. They capture Princess Leia, this and that. And all that happens kind of slow. The droids escape. Then the droids split up. And then they're brought back together. But then by the end of Tatooine, by the end of your trip there, fucking you meet Luke. And Luke's got to clean the droids. And then Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen get murdered and burned alive. And you learn about the Force and you see a lightsaber for the first time, and then all of a sudden you're 40 minutes into the movie. It feels like you're 10 minutes into the movie, you're in the cantina, and you're still experiencing some of the most iconic imagery of all time. And then you leave Tatooine with Han Solo and Chewbacca, and everything after that, it feels like it's a minute long. I don't understand.
That's a great way to describe it. Wow.
I don't understand how well paced that movie is to this day. Like I don't understand how that movie from 1977 is so well paced, and then you have movies like fucking, I don't know, like Multiverse of Madness that have just spurts that just drag forever, and you have exposition scenes that drag forever. The greatest threat to the multiverse is you, Steven. Shut the fuck up, John Krasinski. Be better. It's like crazy to me. Yeah.
It's like kind of like those moments like show don't tell,
right?
Kind of thing. I feel like
it's just brilliant. So that's the most lasting impact that New Hope has on me, and it really pisses me off when people like. There's a Star Wars creator. His name's Luke's Lightsabers, and he's become a very very good friend of mine in recent memory. Yeah. Like we've gotten really. The past couple of weeks, I really fucking like that guy. That's my guy. That being said, he did a Star Wars movie ranking, and he had New Hope at 7th. That is so bad.
What?
That is so bad. That is so bad. I can't wait to have him on the podcast because I'm going to bully the shit out of him.
Do you know what he would put at number 1?
Of all time. What? Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah.
Because you're a child. How old are you?
22.
Yeah, dude. You're fucking young as hell, man.
Well, see,
listen, my understanding is, well, not really understanding, but my defense for that is it's my favorite movie because that's what I loved growing up, but it's not the best movie.
Yeah, but like when was the last time you rewatched it?
I don't know.
When we recorded
we actually just did an episode on it.
Yeah, so you still love it even after rewatching You're So Beautiful.
It's cringy as fuck.
Well, that's what we talk about. We talk about how
it's only because I'm so in love with you.
Yeah, the lines are really bad.
Blinded you. It's terrible. It's like so bad. And I will say, I'm a Star Wars guy. Star Wars is my favorite franchise of all time. So I love Revenge of the Sith. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't hate on it just to hate on it. I don't hate it as a movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But like we just got to be honest.
No, I know. I know it's kind of ass.
When was the last time you rewatched New Hope?
Like a week or two before that. But I know that New Hope is.
Damn,
what's your rankings? What are your rankings like?
New Hope and Empire have to be 1 and 2. If you don't
Yes.
have those two at 1 and 2, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
Okay.
And then I really don't care about everybody else's ranking. But so my ranking goes New Hope, Empire, Last Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, Solo, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Flip Flop, then Rogue One and Rise of Skywalker are the dog shit movies.
Right.
That's pretty close to mine, honestly. I feel like Last Jedi would be like 1 or 2 ticks lower, maybe. But I did enjoy it.
Wait, Last Jedi was.
I think the people that hate on it are just ridiculous.
It is a good film.
Because they hate on Luke. Like, nobody hates any of the shit that they retconned anymore, which is dumb.
Yeah.
But like nobody hates that Rey is a nobody, because now obviously she's a Palpatine, and that's way worse than her being a nobody. And like a lot of people hating, like a lot of people hated a lot of stuff at the time that they ended up retconning. They didn't retcon Luke, so that's the only thing that people talk about now. And they're like, he would never almost kill his nephew and then decide not to. But then all these same people hold Return of the Jedi to the same pedestal, which is ridiculous, because Return of the Jedi is one of the worst movies in the franchise. But Return of the Jedi, he almost murders Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he cuts off his hand.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, now I'm not going to kill him. Like, that's Luke. You guys are like, everybody. And like, Last Jedi is the best portrayal of Yoda ever. Like, the Yoda scene in Last Jedi.
Yoda, right?
Yes. The Last Jedi scene with Yoda is just spectacular. And then, oh my gosh, the ending where Luke at the start of the movie says, what do you want me to do? Just stand up to the whole First Order alone with a laser sword? And then at the end of the movie, that's what he does, is amazing. Now, Canto Bight, ass. It's terrible. I don't think Last Jedi is a perfect movie. But like the people that act like it, like Andrew, my co-host, it's his least favorite Star Wars movie. And in his opinion, it's one of his top 5 least favorite movies of all time. He thinks it ruins Star Wars. It's like one of those motherfuckers. And I just think that opinion is just so ridiculous.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I guess I only have one more question for you. What movie or movie series would you have remade today? Kind of like Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. It could be a sequel or just a complete remake. And that's our last question for you.
I don't have like a series. Can I do just a sequel to a one-off movie?
Yeah.
I would love a sequel to this movie that you guys may have heard of called The Other Guys. It's a
Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg,
yeah. It's
I
my
almost called him Nick
comedy.
Fury.
It's my favorite comedy of all time, and they've made 2 Daddy's Home movies before they made a sequel to The Other Guys, which really breaks my heart. I love The Other Guys so much. I just think the comedy in that movie is just so well written. It's just so every scene in that movie is funny. Like,
it needs
so
yep.
Oh, it's so funny. Like, I don't even think that shit is as funny as like it used to be, because every other scene is so funny. Like, every time I watch that movie, I'm laughing hysterically at something that I didn't expect to laugh hysterically at. Like, like the first time I watched that movie, the hardest I had ever laughed in any movie ever was the scene where Will Ferrell is trying to talk the guy down from suicide. And he's like, nobody down here likes you. That's probably what you're thinking. And you'd be right. Like we don't care. Like, I was laughing hysterically at that. Then the next time I saw it, I didn't laugh at that scene, but I laughed at like another scene harder. Like, it's just, it's just so brilliant. Every time I see it, I watch it. I laugh at something new. It's so great. So I would love a sequel to The Other Guys, because I think they could totally do it.
Oh yeah.
And I think that Will Ferrell's still the funniest guy in the world, man. He's just so funny. He just got an award, and he was like, he got like a really prestigious award or something, and he was like in a tux and whatever, and he's like, well, I guess I should thank my wife, but before I thank my wife, I have to thank my first and second wife. And then he goes, Donna, my first wife, we were just too young. I mean, we were literally too young. We were 13. Like, that's hilarious. He's so
Christ.
funny.
What a guy.
He's so funny. Will Ferrell's the man. And like, I didn't see that movie Strays. I think he does a lot of dog shit work. I don't like the Get Hard movie he did with Kevin Hart. I think he does a lot of bad comedy, but every comedian does bad comedy. I mean, there are terrible Adam Sandler movies, So Other Guys 100%. Would be my pick.
Yeah,
I want an Other Guys sequel.
Huh. That's a good idea. Maybe we should
What?
Maybe we might have to do that, the guys.
Yeah.
But let's start wrapping it up. We'll do our final rankings, and then we'll say goodbye. So, we rate this movies on 4 different scales. We do acting, plot, rewatchability, and then overall rating, all out of 10. So, if you want, we can go first and just kind of show you how we do it, and then you can give your rating, or if you want to go first, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Yeah, let's
Vinny?
do it.
Oh, I'm going.
Yeah, you want to do yours first?
Acting. I thought the acting was really, really good. The only kind of point I'm going to take away is probably from Jenny Cord.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everybody played their part well. And the thing is, the sister could have probably been better as well. So I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
For acting. Xolo and George Lopez were amazing. The grandma, the father, the mother, they were all just unbelievable. For plot, like we said, it's something we've all seen before. But it wasn't bad, and it was very well put together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to give it a terrible score. I'm going to give it maybe like in between a 6 or a 7.
Okay.
Because I think that's the best kind of middle ground that I could find. Rewatchability. I thought it was very good. It was a little hard to rewatch. When I tried to, but I'm not saying that I won't maybe rewatch it in the future. So I'm gonna give that, a 6 or a 7 as well. I can't really definitely choose.
Yeah.
And then overall, I think this movie is very good. I'm gonna give it a 7 overall.
Okay. Interesting. What about you, Alex? What do you think? What would your ratings be?
Acting, I would give it a 6 out of 10. Plot is the next one.
Yes.
Plot is a 2 out of 10. What was the next one?
Rewatchability. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know it's tough.
That one's hard, especially because it's still in theaters.
I haven't rewatched it. I don't have any plans to rewatch it.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna say 5. And then overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of similar. I feel like acting for me is like a 7. The plot is like a 5. I'm only giving it a 5 because of the family aspect.
Right, and that's why I gave it.
It's really
6
basic.
7.
But that's not the plot. The plot has nothing to do with the family.
No, I know, but like the whole thing is just like, okay, we've seen this villain creates his own suit kind of thing, and
that's what the plot is.
Yeah.
Oh, guy gets a suit.
It's so basic.
He's got to learn how to work together, with it.
But the plot aspects of the family, the plot aspects of the family being together and coming together in the end, that's why I think I gave that a higher score.
Yeah, the reason I gave it a 2 out of 10 has nothing to do with the family. I'm not considering the family at all.
Okay. Well, yeah, for me it was a 5. Rewatchability, I'll give it like a 5 as well, just because it was cool to watch. I won't watch it again for another like probably 2 years, 3 years.
Right.
We'll see. And then overall, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because it was enjoyable. It was fun, and it was one of the better things we've had from DC recently, especially coming off the Flash.
DCEU.
Sorry, DCEU, I should say.
Where do you guys rank it like from this year?
I don't know, because like
what other DCEU movies came out this year? All I really know is the Flash.
No.
Like overall.
But like overall movies.
Oh,
like where does it rank for you?
I don't even know.
Yeah, that's tough to say, especially with all the big movies that dropped with Oppenheimer, Barbie, and so many others. It's really hard to.
Would it crack your top 10 for this year?
No, it was my 14th. It was
14th.
my 14th favorite movie from this year.
I don't know how many I've seen from this year though, to be honest with you. So I don't know.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah, overall.
Well,
7.5,
okay.
So.
We all have Spider-Verse ahead of it.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah. Spider-Verse is almost at the top.
Okay, Spider-Verse is probably.
Yeah, it's my number 1. Did you guys see Talk to Me?
No, but I want to see that.
I was going to on Cinema Day, but
that's great. Go see it. See
it.
Did you guys see Air?
Yes, we did a review on that. That was actually our 1 year or it was going to be our 1 year episode.
Yeah.
So, oh wow, congratulations on 1 year, guys.
Thank you.
What's it called? Like Air, we all think is better than Blue Beetle, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do we all see Barbie?
No, I haven't had a chance to, but it is on.
Did you guys see Oppenheimer?
Website where I can watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Oppenheimer is better than Blue Beetle, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so did we see Guardians 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guardians 3 is better than Blue Beetle, right?
Yeah.
Fair assessment.
All right, did you guys see Bottoms, the new comedy?
No, not yet.
Bottoms?
No.
Oh, it's
Never
great.
even
It's
heard
the
of
lesbian high school comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lesbian high school comedy. It's really funny. It's really, really funny. Okay, so go see it. Did you guys see Mission Impossible?
I did not.
No, I wanted to watch it because I've kept up with all of them. I just haven't had a chance to yet.
Okay, now we're getting into like dicey territory. Did you guys see Super Mario?
Yes.
Yes. Fun.
Did you like Super Mario better than Blue Beetle?
Some aspects.
I would say I did because it was.
I think it was just more nostalgic.
I did. I loved Mario, but I know I'm kind of in the minority there. What about Dungeons and Dragons? Did you guys see Dungeons and Dragons?
I saw it. You didn't, right? I enjoyed that.
Did you like it better than Blue Beetle?
I think so. I think I'm gonna have to put it up there before Blue Beetle.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like we're naming all these movies, and literally every single one I've just named from this year.
Right.
I feel like we're putting all of them ahead of Blue Beetle.
That's a good point, honestly. I didn't really think about it like that, but yeah, that's a good way to say it. But yeah,
this year has been a fabulous year for cinema.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
with
I don't
everything
disagree.
that's been going on.
Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, we do have to wrap. He's got to go to class, but thank you so much for coming on, Alex. It was a pleasure. Didn't think this would happen.
No, I honestly thought you might have flaked on us.
Well,
I just thought maybe you were just.
Thank you for your confidence.
I believed in you.
Well,
I did.
I honestly, when you said we were good to go for Wednesday, I believed you. But then, of course, my mind started spiraling, and I was like, he's gonna what if he flakes on us? What are we gonna do? What episode are we gonna record? Because we got to put something out on Monday. I'm like, and I'm just like spiraling. So that was just the reason. But it was great to have you on, and it was great to actually have a good conversation for an hour, probably an hour and a half.
Your audience is gonna fucking hate me.
They hate him anyway, so it's great.
And not to be mean,
you guys.
I kind of hope so, because that'll drive more viewers in.
No, of course. I'm just like, you guys are so much slower paced than our pod. Like every time you guys were talking, I was like, okay, we gotta get to the next episode. Because we film it. We film our podcast. If we film for an hour, we film it thinking it's 60 different TikToks. Like that's how we film it.
Wow.
So like we're thinking, go.
I know. You guys post what, 3 a day?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Easily.
Who runs that?
The TikTok is me. I run all the social media. Yeah. But so like I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you're talking about all the actors. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. I know that takes up a big chunk.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm sure your audience. I'm always on you guys' ass. I'm like, all right, let's go. We're talking about the movie. So your audience is gonna fucking hate me if they like this like slower pace. Like, and I know people love that. Like, I just that's not how we run our thing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
But before we go, to stay in touch with us, please follow our socials: Instagram at One Shot Movie Podcast, Fishbowl, Facebook and TikTok at One Shot Movie Podcast, Twitter and Letterboxd at One Shot Movie Pod. And go get your merch. 15% off, code Beetle. Go get your merch at oneshotmoviepodcast.net. We are actually gonna send you free shirt, hat, what you want, because you're a hat guy. So if you want a hat, we'll send you a hat. But it was honestly great to have you. And once again, plug whatever you want to plug, your own social media, the podcast social media, whatever you want.
Just the Escape Pod podcast on all platforms. You look us up and we'll be there. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really enjoyed this. And I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, that's a wrap.
You're now tuned in to the One Shot Podcast, hosted by Vincent and Jonny.
This show contains movie spoilers, R-rated content, and Hollywood's hottest takes on movies old and new.
Listen at your own risk.